Hi everyone. In my last demo I created an application on Kubernetes and I persisted my logging with an application called Papertrail, and you could see my logging into LogAnalytics. So a cool thing is I show you LogAnalytics. I can query my logging by doing cool things like search. I'm going all over my logging, and what I will do here is I'm just interested in my container log. I apply this. Then I'm only interested in certain images. I apply this, and then I can do stuff like this, and I can remove this, and then I'm only interested in okay, so you get the idea. So I got my logging. So you can imagine that this logging will be bigger and bigger and bigger, and we have several pricing tiers where you can decide what to do with your logging. And you can imagine the more you store, the more it will cost. Especially for financial institutions, you have some kind of regulation that you need to store your logging for a certain amount of period. So what's interesting is that in Azure we got a thing called Blob Storage, and Blob Storage is basically a cheaper method of storing your data. And ideally you could use that, for example, for using archiving. So currently we only have blob and cool and hot storage for blob storage, and but since as of next year we will also have a thing called archive storage. So what you like to do, for example, is get this data and say, okay, I like to have a retention period of a certain amount of periods. Let me go to my resource group, and in my resource group I'm saying for LogAnalytics I type the word retention, and here you see I've chosen the cheapest tier, and the cheapest tier is only storing my logging for 7 days. So what I can imagine is that I need a job that every day it gets the latest logging from LogAnalytics and stores it to Blob Storage. So we can do that with a product called Azure Automate, and Azure Automate is excellent for maintenance jobs you like to schedule. So let's see how it looks like. Within your resource group you can just say add automation account. You will get a thing like this, and in Azure Automate you can configure many things, but one of the things is called a runbook. And a runbook currently supports also Python code, and within Python code I will give you an example how you can get logs from LogAnalytics and persist it to Blob Storage. So here I'm going to overview, and here I'm going to edit the job, and here you will see the code which gets the data from LogAnalytics and persists them to Blob Storage. So I've made the code available in my GitHub repository. I will share the link to you in the bottom of the comments, so you will know where to get this data as well. One thing I would like to point out, which is pretty cool, or one thing that is less cool, is that it currently only supports the old type of SQL. Hopefully they will change that soon, and that's of course depending on the API. And I think is very cool, within my Python script I can revert to variables, and these variables are part of the Azure Automation account. and I can do that by importing a library called automation assets. Let me show you how they look like. Let's go to my runbook, one level up. It's my automation account, and in my automation account I can define variables. Here you go. Here you see that I've stored the variables as plain text. You can also store them as an encrypted value. Last thing I like to show you is the runbook, and that I can schedule this job for a certain time or period. I just say schedule, and I say okay, I like to link this to a schedule. There's no schedules yet. Here I'm creating a schedule test, and I say okay, I like to be recurring for every 12 hours, and starting from now. You say create. Okay, so let me show you what this thing does. You can just, when you go to the edit mode, you can test it, but you can also publish the runbook and start it. What you will get is this dialog, and it will wait. First it needs to be queued, and then it will be running, and when it's finished it will have the state completed. So it's now completed. Let's have a look in our blob storage. We're going to, let's see, of course I created a blob storage as well. Here's my storage account. Within my storage account you can define blobs, and within the blobs you can choose, would you like to have a container for cool storage or hot storage, and like I mentioned earlier, there will be also archiving storage. And here you see I've created a CSV file just a moment ago. I'm downloading it here, and here you see the fields which I defined in my code, which I found interesting. So, hope you guys liked it. This is the end of my demo. If you really like what I'm sharing, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. That's it, and have a nice day.